funny, yeah. She's got a whole different new passion. Well, it's passion, and it's music, and it's TV, which is fun, and hip-hop, which is right up my alley. This is going to be such a fun interview. I could see it coming. But with me at this point in time is Nadeska. It's a really cute name.
Thank you.
Everybody knows you as Pinky.
Everybody on this island knows me as Pinky.
Pinky, Nadeska Pinky Alexis. Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me here.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome.
Here. Welcome back home.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm so excited to see sun. I've been binging a little bit, so my skin is peeling. I'm ashamed to admit it, but that's what happens when you don't see sun.
Yeah, that's okay. You're just soaking it all up, and you're having
Exactly.
a good time. Tell people a little bit about growing up in Grenada and your roots.
So I grew up in Mount Morris, actually. My mom is a nurse. She's a twin.
Yes.
And so Don Alexis and Yvonne, who's the teacher.
Yes.
So growing up here was great. You know, I had all my cousins around. I went to Mother Rose. I still keep in touch with some of my best friends from childhood. Unfortunately, I never made it to convent. I wanted to go there for at least 1 year.
Yeah.
Because, you know, my mom talks about it when she was growing up. My friends still do. So I'm a little bit jealous. But then I moved to New York in 97. So I was about 10 years old. I moved to Brooklyn, and it was very cold.
Yeah, I know.
That's how it started.
Yeah, but you know, I'm really curious, Nadeska, to find out a little bit about, you know, making your break into television, because, you know, from time to time we see Grenadians doing really incredible work.
Yeah.
We've got Amanda Seals doing her thing.
Yeah.
We got you doing your thing, and it's just wonderful. I know being part of MTV's cast now with their new shows and all of that, because you're really a writer and editor.
Yeah,
And I know you moonlight as a host.
Yeah, exactly. That just sort of happened. I mean, I've always wanted to be a writer and an editor. That's been my dream for as long as I knew. So I've been working at MTV for about 2.5 years now.
Gotcha.
So they originally hired me to run their hip hop blog, which is their only hip hop property on MTV.com. So I ran the blog for a while, and attached to the blog is a show called Rap Fix Live.
Yeah.
So I don't know Sway, if you guys remember him from MTV.
Yeah, I know Sway. He's chopped off all the locks, right?
Yeah. Locks are gone. People always ask me about his hair or his hat.
Yeah.
Top questions about Sway. People are always very curious.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been hosting the show for a few years already, and it's a weekly live show, and it airs on MTV Jams, which is their hip hop channel.
Right.
So I've been, since I started working there, I was helping with the show. You're coming up with questions, you're brainstorming guests, you're doing social media behind the scenes. So I was doing that for about 1.5 years. And then last year, one of the higher ups decided that they wanted me on the show actually to help with social media, so I could be that link between fans and the artists.
Nice.
And it kind of evolved from there. I got more and more on-camera interviews, and now I have a bigger role. Last week, I finally got to host my first episode.
Wonderful.
It was about women in hip-hop, so Sway was my sidekick for that episode. Which
was that the episode with Angie Martinez?
Yes.
How was that? I had a peek at it, but how was it? Because I know you've probably been following her work for a long time.
Yeah, it was kind of incredible. I mean, I've interviewed a lot of artists, but something about interviewing a person that you grew up listening to, doing what you always wanted to do, was amazing. You know, during it, she asked me if I'm nervous, and I was like, I'm definitely not going to tell you that, but I learned from her to just the way she was always so relaxed and casual. I always wished I could be like that. So,
when did you fall in love with hip hop?
I'd say it started when I was in Grenada. I was still pretty young, you know, 10, but it was my cousins every day after school watching BT.
Yeah.
And I just, whatever your cousins think is cool, you probably think is really cool too.
Why not?
You know, so I'm sitting around watching TV with them. And then when I moved to New York, that's just, it's like the music, it's the culture, it's kind of like the way you live. It's in like your everyday. So since I moved there, like became a big thing. You know, I can like relive certain moments in high school and even when I was younger by certain albums.
Yeah.
Remember where I was, the music that was playing, my very first like Eminem concert. That's like a moment I found the ticket actually for that concert. That was like 13 years ago, and I started to like tear up. That was just such
when you got that call that you were going to be working for MTV, what was the first reaction?
Well, I was definitely excited. So I went in for the interview. I went in all prepared. I had all my clips. I'm like, I'm ready. I could do this, you know. It was the first time I would be taking on an editor position. I've always been a writer. So I was definitely a little bit nervous, but I was like, I can do this. Why not? I've been working for so long. The interview went really well, you know. So the guy who eventually hired me got back to me the next day and said, you were so great. You know, I definitely want you to come aboard. Now we just have to figure out everything higher up. So it actually took a few months for us to like sign my contract. So like I was just sitting there like this, waiting. Like, can we sign yet? I'm ready to start yet. So that was kind of like definitely a surreal moment.
Yeah. Back to your images again. nosy me. I've seen you posing with Mariah Carey. I've seen you posed with Drake. All these celebrities. Explain to me, share with me if you can, and our viewers, when you get to meet all these really talented and famous, if I can say that, hip hop artists and musicians. What's one of the first things that would cross your mind in terms of, wow, he's cool, wow, she's pretty, wow. That one's difficult, you know, that kind of thing. What do you learn from meeting all these people?
You learn that everyone's very different. And so, like, you try to go and not thinking of them as a celebrity because that makes you extra nervous. You have to figure out what kind of person they are because every artist is different. And like, you interview the same one a few times, you'll kind of know what to expect. But the very first thing, you go in and just try to be a normal person. Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Usually they're like stressed out. They're doing like 1,000,001 things. So you like make a little joke. You just, something that doesn't have to do with what you're actually about to do. Just loosen them up, and then you realize that then you see their personality come out, and they're more interested in talking. They don't feel like you're just a reporter, like trying to poke some news out of them. So yeah, it's just about trying to like understand each person really quickly. As soon as you meet them.
You know, the bottom line is they're just people just making their money. It's just that they're doing it in front of the world. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So hey, who would you say? I know you're getting your feet wet now with hosting your own show and that sort of thing. But who would be one of your most anticipated persons that you'd love to sit down and chat with?
Kanye West. I know that's a scary one too.
Good answer.
Yeah, because I mean, you never know what to expect. You know, it can end in a fight with Kanye. You never know, but I think that he's definitely one of my favorite artists ever. He's totally insane, but I think he's also my spirit animal. You know what I mean? He makes great music, and I think he's kind of like a mad genius scientist. I would really love to just pick his brain. Hopefully, not get into a fight with him. But other than that, Eminem. I've had a chance to like hang out and watch Sway interview him. Eminem is one of my favorite of all time.
Why? Without cutting you.
When I was younger, you know all that like teen angst, you know how moody teenagers are. You're going through a lot. You can't communicate with your parents well, especially if they're working a lot. So hip hop was kind of my therapy, and Eminem to me made the most therapeutic music as a child.
It always related to you somehow, right?
Exactly, and all of his songs are just still, everything's still stuck in my brain. So when I actually met him, usually I'm pretty calm and collected when I'm about to do an interview and meet an artist. But for him, I was like, if this is the only time I ever get to meet you, I was like, you changed my life. Thank you so much. I want to cry right now, and I had to ask him for a picture. So I'd say Kanye and Eminem would be my top two. And Beyonce, but you know. Never say she's not a rapper technically, so.
But that's okay. She's married to a pop artist.
Yeah,
so hey.
Queen bee.
You never know, girl. You never know. What's one of the first things? I know you love the beach, and I know when you come home, you gotta get, you know, hit Grenada's beach or wherever, get that tan going, boy. But what would be one of the first things that you love to do when you come home for vacation?
All right, food would technically be number one, but food aside, I really love adventures. Now, you know my best friend, Irina Costa. She's one of my favorite people, and she's always loved adventures, which is why we've always been such good friends. So my first day here, of course, I was dying to get to the beach, but instead we went hashing with her mom. I'd been hearing a lot about hashing, and I've never actually tried it. So let's see, I took a 1 a.m. flight from New York, landed at 6 a.m. I probably got 2 hours sleep. I was pretty tired. Had some water, went hiking up a giant hill, and the view on top was beautiful, so it was worth it. Did
they break you in to drink your sneaks and everything?
Well, so I knew that rule, so I didn't bring new shoes. I didn't want to drink anything out of my sneakers, so I brought old ones. I did get thank you.
And people would be like, but I actually want to drink out of my new shoes because my old ones might have a little.
I was like, I'm not playing it. But I did get soaked with beer, but I hear it's good for your hair anyway. So
it is.
That's totally
it really
fine.
is.
It's moisturizing.
Cleansing and cleaning your scalp and all that stuff. What are you listening to right now?
What am I listening to right now? So some of my favorite new rappers, there's something magical happening in Chicago right now. There's drill music, which I don't know, people might know rappers like Chief Keef. That's not really my cup of tea. There's some younger guys too called Chance the Rapper and Vic Mensa. And they're my favorite right now. It's this like very experimental hip hop. You could hear the like Kanye and Pharrell influence in their music, but they love anything alternative. So the beats are really cool. And they're just like super eccentric kids, and I think they're kind of the future. And they're very smart and everything. They have a lot to say about all the things going on in Chicago. So those are the ones that I have my eye on.
And you know, sometimes we like a good hook, and we like the song and everything. But you know, sometimes a good story is good.
Exactly. And that's the thing, they're great storytellers, and sometimes you don't realize the first time you're listening because the track is so melodic.
Yeah.
And you get into it, and the more you listen, every time you're hearing something new,
Yeah.
and you're learning a lot. And also their slang is so crazy. You know, it varies from New York, from the East to the West Coast.
Right.
But I'm learning a lot of Chicago words that I've never
never
heard
heard
of from
before.
them. So that's also fun.
So Slash, that was for hip hop. Any other type of music that you're into right now?
Yeah. Okay.
Or artists?
So some of my favorite, there's a band from the UK called London Grammar. The lead singer, I think her name is Hannah Reid. She has this like beautiful voice. Jessie Ware, who's also from the UK, I like. And then a producer called Subtract. And one more vocalist. Sorry, there are a lot of UK people.
That's
I don't know. Called Sampa. So it's kind of a mix of like R&B, electronic, kind of like dance, and it's amazing. So when I'm not binging on hip hop
Right.
and I need a break,
You need a break.
I'm checking out artists like that. Even bands like Disclosure, so it's like 2 DJs.
Right.
They came to New York and did a show with Vic Mensa, one of the rappers that I like.
Right.
It was incredible. And it's
Nice.
perfect that they can cross hip hop and electronic music like that.
Excellent.
So I love it.
You know, we got MTV on our cable channel here. Would you be on that specific channel, or you're on the?
Yeah, no, so
MTV
MTV
too.
proper these days is mostly reality shows. Like they'll have their Catfish, their Teen Mom, stuff like that, Real World. So then they have all the satellite channels with, so we're on MTV Jam. So they play hip hop videos all day.
right.
And then we're the only like live show that they have.
Right.
And it comes on every
So
week.
if Grenadians can't connect there, I know you've got online. You have an online presence, obviously.
Yes, I've been trying.
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
Yes, well,
YouTube?
actually, I don't have anything on YouTube, but
No,
I
you
should
should.
get there someday,
You should, you
right?
should.
It's because the MTV videos are hard to put on YouTube. That's why
Right.
they have their issues. But yeah, on Twitter, on Instagram, I'm Newer York, so NEWERYORK. Send me a message, say hi.
Yeah, yeah.
know?
Well, I've connected with you, girl, so I'm going to be following you and all your
Okay.
moves to share it with the rest of Grenada.
Awesome.
We're practically out of time, but I'm just going to say one word, and you tell me what comes to your mind. Grenada.
Beautiful. Home. Sorry, one word is really hard. I think it's beautiful. Every minute I'm shocked by how beautiful it is.
It is
Sunrise,
amazing.
sunset, the beach, the lakes, everything. I can't.
Can't go wrong. Can't go
It's
wrong.
amazing.
Nadeska, it was a pleasure
Thanks a
meeting
lot
you.
for
All the
having
best with
me.
your future endeavors, and I'll keep my eye on you, girl.
Absolutely,
I'll
I'll
keep
be
my
back
eye on
soon.
you. You will be. I know you will be, and my chair's right here waiting for you. Nice
okay.
meeting you again.